All right, my friends, so today we are going to look at an adapter for the, well, really the Canon RP, the Canon R, the Canon R6, the Canon R5, and especially since a lot of you may be looking at one of the new Canon R cameras that use the RF lens, we may be coming, like myself, from a camera, especially Canon, that was using the EF lenses. And for a lot of us, just buying EF lenses, new and or used, and I actually buy a fair bit of used lenses, can be a nice budget-friendly way to utilize your new camera and get some decent glass in front of it. But we need an adapter. And the Canon adapters, they have a couple, can be a little pricey, but let's be honest, they're good. Without question. And I actually use one right now. This camera that you guys are seeing is a Canon RP, and it actually uses the Canon adapter, the one with the actual dial on it, so that you can set it to change your aperture or ISO or whatever. But again, a little more pricey. So for those of us that are getting into the RF cameras, something like this, which is a third-party lens mount adapter, which goes from EF and EFS lenses to RF, can be really beneficial. This one right now, I believe Canadian wise, comes in around the $80 mark. I think it was. I'm not 100% sure. But it is a lot more budget friendly than getting the actual Canon one. Question is, does it work? And sadly right now, as of time of shooting, this one is unavailable online. This is where I got it from. But we're gonna take a look, because hopefully when you guys look, it's back in stock. Maybe, if it works. We'll find that out right now. All right, so here it is. This is the JJC. Doesn't actually say JJC anywhere on the box, but that's okay. This is it. We're gonna just crack it open. You'll see on the front, Canon EF EFS lens to Canon RF body. Other than that, there is a little QR code to register it if you want to. I'd recommend it. And product highlights for attaching any EF EFS lens to RF mount. Contains no optics, maintains the original optic quality, retains all autofocus, durable aluminum alloy, no glare matte finish, comes with a quarter 20 tripod socket at the bottom. So very cool, should do everything. Previously, I have used some of the adapters from different brands, third party, on my M series camera. So I have a Canon M50, yeah. I'm just like, what camera do I have? Yeah, it's an M50. It's actually right here, right? There's my little M50. And if you can look at it, there is a little adapter right here. So that little adapter on this one is an actual speed booster, which I actually like. But that one does have glass, and they are a lot more expensive. But for us, what we're doing is looking at this right here, because no optics. Basically what it does is it changes the actual just lens mount. So number one, you get a little bag. So that's handy because when it's not attached to your camera, you're gonna want to be able to put it somewhere, and you're gonna want to make sure it's protected from dust and things like that. So a little bag, JJC, nothing too fancy, but it doesn't need to be right there. We get the lens adapter. We get a little, I don't know, is this like a, I guess it's a manual, but it's full color. That's kind of nice. Just kind of shows you how to put it on. Shouldn't be much different than physically putting on an actual lens. Now the only thing is, sometimes the spinning of the lens is a little backwards, but there it is. There's your little manual. Looks like it'll do its job. And I do like the fact that it's all color. A little bit of silica gel just to keep the moisture out of the box. All good. Now I'm not going to show you guys here how this lens mount. I will possibly do it when we get back because again, I'm shooting with it. Here's the actual lens adapter. You guys can see it. It is metal, so that's really good. Tripod mount on the bottom. Do have your quarter 20s on there. This is nice and fixed, which is good because I have seen some other brands that I've gotten where this kind of gets loose really fast and the screw doesn't tighten really good. So you will see the quarter 20 and a tightening screw that's going to be used. You'll see them both on the bottom to be able to make sure this is nice and fastened, which also means that this can be removed if you don't want it. And then you're going to get the side with the one dot on it, I believe. One dot would probably be, my guess, the RF side. So this is going to be the side that goes into the actual camera, and this side I believe will be the side where the lens hits. My guess would be bigger, there's the RF mount there. Bigger side is going to go to the actual body, smaller side is going to go to the lens. So we're going to go outside, we're going to mount this on this camera, we're going to go for a little walk, my wife and I, and we're gonna test it. And we're gonna test it with two lenses. We're gonna actually test it with the 16-35, which is the lens that I shoot right now. So 16-35 f4. We're gonna take some photos, take some video, and just see how well the autofocus works, because really that's the important part, is making sure the autofocus works well. And we're gonna try it also on a 70-300, which is their, I can't remember, EF2 or something like that lens. But again, IS and full auto, and we'll make sure that that works. And again, check that autofocus, make sure it's tracking well. We're gonna go do that now, and we'll see you there. All right guys, so it is a little windy out, but we have the adapter on, which is awesome. Mary just did a stop over there. So the hope is that this is autofocusing. So we're gonna go take some photos, some videos, do some tests. We've got this lens, so the 16-35, and we've got my 70-300, and we'll see how it performs. I think it's gonna perform really well. It actually has a really good seal on it. So I was really quite surprised at the seal. A lot of the third-party ones are a little loose when they mount, but this one's quite good. All right, let's go get some video and some photos. Alright guys, so we are back, and I have got the JJC lens adapter still on this camera, so my Canon EOS RP, and it's again using the 16-35. So I only use the 16-35 a little bit when we were down at the falls to shoot a couple wide shots, and of course to shoot a little tracking shot, this shot right here, of Mary kind of walking back and forth, to make sure that it had no problems with the autofocus and make sure that it was just transferring that image smoothly. So it did. Focus speed seemed to be on par with the Canon one. I didn't really notice any differences. And I used my 70-300 lens actually a lot. It performed very well. Now, the one thing that I was concerned, and I've been concerned with some of the ones, for instance, on the M50, this is my M50 here, a lot of times what happens is on the third-party branded adapters, where the actual adapter mounts to the body is a little loose. You can actually hear it here on this one. Just a little bit of looseness where it attaches. It may be a little bit, like really when you get in there and try to wiggle it, there's maybe a little bit of movement, but it's not bad at all. It's probably one of the better ones that I've tried, even though this is the first one that I've tried on the R series. So on the M series, I've tried for adapters the comm lights, I've tried the photodiox, I've tried the Viltrox, which is the speed booster, which is this one here, and they all have that little tiny bit of looseness. Not enough for it to be concerning, but it's just there. So if you get in, you're like, oh, there's a little bit of, just a little bit that you can kind of move it. Yeah, I didn't notice it near as much. Is it there? Yeah, but super, super fine. Like it's, you really got to get in there and kind of just focus yourself to see it. For most people, I would say they'd never even notice it. But because I've had that experience with the M series, I was looking for it. That's it. Other than that, autofocus was really good. And of course, since it's a device that has no optics, there's no issue with optic clarity. It's going to be completely based on the lens you use. So if you have a good lens, you're going to get better optics. If you have a bad lens, you're not going to get as good. So because this is an RP, it really doesn't have any in-body stabilization. So all that IS is going to be based on the lens itself. So again, the adapter is not going to have any issue with that. Now, as we move towards the R6 and R5, where it does have IBIS, that is going to be something that I'm going to test again once I get my R6, because I am definitely curious to see how well lens IS and in-body stabilization will work together with a third-party adapter. I just don't know if it's going to have any benefits or if it's going to have any negatives. But as far as autofocus goes, I would say save your money, get this adapter. It seems to do the job very well. Again, right now it is what I'm using on the camera, and it's got my eye detect. It's hitting this eye right here and it's locked on, and I can move forward and backwards and it is keeping me in focus perfectly. So there you go, guys. I'm gonna leave links down below to it. Again, I know in the Amazon Canada store right now it is currently sold out, but hopefully it'll be back in stock soon. There you go, my friends. Link down below to the JJC EF EFS to RF lens adapter, and we will see you in the next video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Later, my friends.